Hi, this is Jennifer Boylston from Jenny's Garden, and today we're going to look at the desktop from Jenny's computer. And I thought it would be good to help senior citizens and those people who are newly working with computers that really don't understand all the lingo that goes with computers, to break it down in some basic videos, just so that whenever you have an issue, we know how to boot up a computer and get in and start playing with stuff. But sometimes when we have an issue and we're talking to a family member or a technical support desk, we don't always understand exactly what they're saying or asking us to do because we're not sure of the lingo that they're using for computerese. So with computers, the very basic thing that we point to when we're working with technical support is the user's desktop. So let's get started. I have booted up this computer. It's a laptop and it's an older computer. On this laptop, when we first boot up a computer, start it up, booting means starting, you'll get your desktop very first thing. So this screen that you're looking at with the Windows logo on it is the desktop. So liken this back to the desktop that was at work or in your office at home that you sit your computer on now, or maybe some plants if you're a plant person like I am. And this is now your desktop. This is where you do all your work from on your computer. It's where you can store files, where you can place different windows and open different windows that you're working in for the time being. And then you're going to close and you're going to store those into libraries. And I'm going to point those out in a few minutes. So this is your desktop. On your desktop, you can have different applications. You can have shortcuts to those applications. They don't actually sit in your desktop. They're just shortcuts that will point you to them. So if I want to throw things away and I want to empty my recycle bin, I can right click on this application real quick and I can empty it. You can have file folders that you want to get to very quickly. So if I want to access my pictures real quick, I can double click right here and this will take me over to the area of my computer that has all my pictures in it. So anything that you see that's sitting on your desktops are actually little shortcuts that take you over to the area on your computer that those files or that application sits in. So your desktop can be very basic like this one. This is just the default desktop for Windows. Or if you right click on your desktop with your right click on your mouse, right click one time, you get a menu and you can actually change your desktop. You can change the view. So for some people that have seeing problems, you can left click on the large icons and it will make things larger. So if you're having a little trouble seeing, then you can make things larger and it's going to be easier for you to navigate through your different windows and things. I'm going to right click back on my desktop and I'm going to click view again, and I'm going to click back on medium icons. For those young people that have great vision, if they click view, they may want to go down to the small icons. Look, they're little bitty. If you grab an icon and you want to realign it, then you could click one time on it with your left click button on your mouse, and you can click and drag it. So that's what we mean by click and drag. Anytime you want to clear a highlighted area, just go into an area that does not have a program or a folder. I call this the empty space, and left click on it and that will clear that highlighted area. I'm going to right click on my desktop again, click on view and go back to the medium icons. If you have a lot of icons in your desktop, it makes it harder to work sometimes if you have them that way. So you can arrange them. If we right click again and we go back to view, if you notice, you can arrange your different icons this way, or you can sort them by name or by size or by type. So this would sort all your files if you had a bunch of Adobe PDF files or Word documents, it would sort them by that type. Or it would sort them by date modified. So it would sort your newest files to the front. To me, I don't like my desktop that busy. I like to have a nice clean desktop, and then I keep everything organized in my file library. You can do your synchronization. We're not going to get into that right now. And you can go down here and you can personalize your desktop. So if I click on personalize, and let's say that I want to add a picture that I've taken. So I've already downloaded a picture of my dog. Her name is Daisy. So we're going to choose Daisy. And she now becomes my desktop background. Now when you do this, what you do is you get more themes online, or you could go to your pictures that are actually on your computer. We'll talk about that later. But we did want to come up here and put Daisy on our desktop. Nice clean desktop. You've got a nice picture of Daisy now. So whenever we are on my desktop, you'll be seeing Daisy. Down here at the bottom is the taskbar. And on the taskbar, this is where you is the control center for all the programs that you are using. Some people have auto hide on their taskbar where it will disappear when you're not hovered over it. I keep my taskbar locked because I pop between different programs a lot and I like to see my taskbar. Some people have a dock where they have a floating taskbar. It kind of bubbles up. My husband and my boys like that. I like mine nice and clean. Some people move their taskbar to the right or to the top. It's all personal preference. We're just going to leave the taskbar locked down here at the bottom right now for this teaching video. On my taskbar, I have the start button. And if you notice, if I simply hover over my different icons, I'm not clicking on anything, I'm just hovering over it, then I'll get a description of what that icon is, or if the icon has activity on it, it will actually show me the activity that has taken place on that icon. So if we left click once on the start button, you'll notice it will give you your most used programs. The operating system for this laptop is Windows. So the operating system that runs the laptop and all the programs associated with it is the Windows operating system. The programs within it that I use to write letters or to capture images or to analyze data are programs. If I want to look at all my different programs that I have, I can click on all programs and you'll notice that I have some that are here, and if I keep scrolling down, I have a ton of programs that are on this computer. If it is a program, for example, Word or Excel, they are in the Microsoft Office suite. I can find them under here also if it's one that I don't use a lot. For example, I haven't used Info Path Designer. So even though I have access to it, it's just one I don't use a lot, so you will not see it on my main page here. Down here at the bottom, you can search for programs. So if I search for Word, it will not only bring up my Word program for me, it'll bring up WordPad, which is basic Word. It's back in the day we used WordPad for TXT files. And then we have all these different Word documents and everything that we can go in and find if we're looking for a specific Word document. If I click the X, that will clear my search. Over here on the right of the Start button, it shows me the user who's logged in. And then I can get to the documents and the pictures and the music and the games of that user. Under the control panel, you may have a tech support or a family member who's helping you with an issue. They may say, I need you to click on the Start button and control panel. So this is where they're trying to get you to go to. So control panel is where you can access all your different softwares to maybe uninstall. If you accidentally installed some spyware, they may have you go into your control panel to uninstall it. If you're trying to install a printer and maybe it's not defaulted correctly, then they'll go and help you go into your control panel devices and printers and default that printer for you. This is also where you can shut down your computer. We highly recommend that you try to shut down your computer instead of pressing and holding the power button. Sometimes that's not the best way to take your computer down, nor is removing the battery. Sometimes you have to, but we really recommend that you don't do that if you don't have to. So go to your shutdown button here. This totally turns it off. We call it a cold boot. Or if you click on the arrow here, you can do a warm boot, where what this does is it turns off the computer for a second, but it restarts it so you can log back into it. So it's kind of like a little nap for it. Maybe. Kind of shuts it down, turns it back on. Sleep is a little nap, is hibernation. And then, of course, if you have multiple users using the same computer, you can switch the users right here. Or you can lock it so no one else can use it. Okay? So shutdown totally shuts it all the way down. I recommend that you shut down your computer maybe a couple of times a week. I personally believe in that. I just think it's like meditation for your computer, right? When you meditate your mind, it helps shut down your mind and it helps rewire things because our minds get full of data. So do computers. So if you shut it down and then let it go through the reboot process, it will come up and be clean for you. The next icon over is your library. So right here, the great thing about your library folder, we used to not have this in the taskbar, and I just love that they've put it out there. And so now you can get into your files very quickly. So on your computer, you have what we call a C drive. This is the main drive where all your computer files and your programs are kept. And then on that C drive, we partition off areas that you can keep your documents in, your music, your pictures, your videos. These are called your libraries. Now, some people like to create folders. Like I create a folder and I keep my different documents and pictures in my folder. That's why you didn't see, if you looked at my music, for example, you won't see much there because I actually keep it in another location. So it really depends on how you like to use your computer. But you may have someone say, when you wrote that letter, where did you save it? We call that the path, and that's up here. So if I'm looking at my JEB desktop, you'll notice my path is the computer, which is the C drive, okay, local C disk. It's under users. And then my name, my desktop. Okay, a little too much that we need to know right now. We're going to go on, but that just shows you how you can get in and find files. These file areas right here are your cloud drives. So if you have an area for if you have a cloud account, you can have it so it's saved on your computer. You can save files directly into your cloud account. So what is the cloud? The cloud is internet storage areas that you can save and access files from. Make sure if you're using one, it's secured, that people are making sure it's virus free. And we'll talk about cloud solutions later. Okay, so that's your library. The rest of the icons are active icons I'm using right now. This is my Internet Explorer icon, and this is my Google Chrome icon. These two are what we call internet browsers. So a browser actually goes out and opens the internet for you and lets you explore the internet. So, i.e., Internet Explorer is a Microsoft product, and a lot of people like to use it. I just happen to have my LinkedIn open on this one here. I also have what we call a tab open. So this tab lets me go into different areas. This Chrome is just an icon, so I can open new sessions of Chrome. Word open, and this lets me turn on and off the recording for this video. On the right of the taskbar, programs that open up automatically when you turn on your computer. So there's one for my graphic card. There's one if I add any external media like a jump drive or an external hardware key, a printer, that type of thing. There's my internet or network access if I'm going on a wireless network. This is where I can connect to it, add security if I need to, a security code, or if I was using a LAN, a network connection where you have to plug it into your computer, you would use it right here, and of course your clock. So that's it for today that we're going to discuss the desktop. I hope this gave you a little more familiarity with it to